So this is get recorded to the cloud. And if you have any presentation, you have a presentation on it.
Yes, I do. I do.
Okay.
There seems to be a lot of noise from the background. I don't know where that's from.
You'll have to once in a while go to the participants and mute everybody.
Okay. Yeah.
Mute everybody. Except for you, I will unmute you.
Oh, Saket is here. Hi, Saket.
Saket is here. What Saket is here? I was hoping you would be here. Oh, Saket.
Yeah, I'm here.
I was hoping you would be here, Brother Rai, because I wanted you to introduce Poonam. मैंने सोचा कि
आज सबका नेटवर्क खराब है. Yeah, I think Saket is in that session, so maybe the network is not good right there.
Yeah, my network is a little bit bad from here. But Sid, you're looking good in this new avatar. Huh?
Yeah, you're looking like 20 years younger.
Thank you.
I think we'll not give you any membership any longer. We don't like young guys.
Oh, come on.
You'll be thrown out from Old Man Club.
Oh, seriously. We'll
think about it then. Poonam, you looking good? Best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
She is, isn't she? First time I was telling her, first time seeing her all dressed up. So, would you be able to please introduce Poonam? It makes a whole lot more sense because you know her from seeing you introduced her and so on and so forth. So, would you like to introduce her, please?
Thank you. Well, I'll like to have that. Thank you very much. So let me introduce Sid.
In that case, it's 4 o'clock. Hold on. I will get my 3 seconds and I'll hand over to you.
You introduce yourself and I'll still introduce
everyone. Thank you and welcome. Perfect. Hello and welcome to Community Healers. You're part of the Community Healers session right now. And what we do at Community Healers is essentially put people in touch with different practitioners from different healing and the wellness modalities that are there. Now, the issue with these new wellness modalities is that the entry barrier.
Excuse me.
Yep.
The voice is not clear at all. Hello. Hello.
I think Sid is gone.
Okay. There is a lot of disturbance in the sound.
Yeah, I can't help that. I'm sitting in a restaurant. Please bear with me for about 45 seconds and then I'll shut up. Saket will take over and then Poonam will finish it. Okay? You'll have to bear with this. I can't do much about it. Okay, so community doing is we're trying to, the problem with these new modalities, and not new, but these wellness alternate modalities is that the entry barrier is very, very low. So you don't know what you're getting into it with and all of that. So the point of these sessions is to basically explore these modalities with the practitioners, talk to them. They will give a little bit of themselves. You're giving a little bit of yourselves. Both of you are just sharing time. And when you're done, you can take the you can take the call to talk to other people. Yeah, there is a lot of background noise. I'm in just something, so nothing that can be done. So when we do that, okay. So now I'm going to hand over to Saket. I will mute and over to you.
Thanks, Sid. So, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, Sid, as you probably all know, if you have attended previous Community Healers events, our MC is the guy to go. As far as the events are concerned, Sid and me have been working together for really long now. And now we come back to Poonam. Poonam is a fellow hypnotherapist. Poonam is a life coach. Poonam is a wonderful person. And Poonam has a very specific quality that when she goes for something, she truly, truly, truly understands that thing. So what we managed to do this time, all thanks to me, of course, and my wife, because she was the first one to convince Poonam to give this. Okay, we convinced her that to share her knowledge, her passion for what we understand, what we call, she has other names for it, as law of attraction. And guys, I've seen it happening. I've seen it happening in her life. And I've seen it happening so many ways. I've attended a session, a very close session for a few of the people really close to her. It was a brilliant session, excellent session. And your takeaway today is going to be that you all will learn the basic, the very basic of how to manifest each and everything. And I assure you, if you just follow what she's telling you, you will get it. Best of luck, Poon.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
That was so
Saket.
sweet.
Thanks, Poonam. Take it away, please.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sid. And thank you so much, Saket. Such kind words. And yes, I would not have been here today if it was not, Sangeeta's suggestion, who is Saket's wife, and Saket. They've insisted on me doing this session. Thank you so much. And lovely to see so many of my friends, my ex-colleagues, my current colleagues. I'm just seeing everybody who's here. Thank you so much for turning up. It's really special, my first ever session. And it means a lot to me that you're here to attend the session, to support me. And I hope you get to learn something really important today. So I'll immediately start. I want this session to be interactive. So any questions, any doubt, anything you want to know more about, you want to stop me in between, you do that. And I'm just going to share my screen. Please let me know if you can see my presentation that I've just shared. If you can't, just raise your hand.
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. So today's topic is on law of attraction, on manifestation, something that I've been always curious about, in terms of how do we get what we want? How is it that some people are so lucky, they get what they want, and some of us are not as lucky, and how, what's the difference? How does it really happen? So I got to questioning on those lines, and there have been some discoveries that I've made, and that has helped me understand this topic, and I felt it's important for me to share with everybody and my journey so far. So becoming a manifestation magnet, before I even begin this, I want to start with first understanding who we really are. Till the time we don't know who we really are, we can't become something else. So who we are is, when we were born, even before we were born, we were source energy. We were part of the light that created us. And that light is still part of us, so it's inseparable. We are born powerful manifestors. We are born powerful creators. And there's nothing that we can't be. There's nothing that we can't have or we can't do, so that's who we are. It's just that over a period of time, over so many years of, getting all the layers, over this identity, we've forgotten who we are. And today's session is all about that. I'm not going to be teaching anything new that you don't know. We all know. We are all powerful manifestors. We have just forgotten. And this journey is going to be about remembering that. Yeah. We are born creators, but over a period of time, right from our childhood, after so many experiences, and if I share my experience of my childhood and my journey so far, how I have moved from that identity to my identity of not being enough, of not being good enough, or not having enough, or all the things that I wanted to have, I could not have. I would end up blaming it on somebody or something, or even I would end up blaming myself, so getting into that identity and forgetting that I am a powerful manifestor, I am a powerful creator. So I lost my identity. I lost a sense of who I was. And then, of course, in that entire process, this is something that I wanted to share and explain. This is where we are born with in terms of our emotional scale. When we are born with very high level of joy, enthusiasm, love, and appreciation for what we have. That's where we were. And that's where I was. And if I was to share my experience, and over a period of time, over many years, eventually, this is where we end up. We end up having fear, we end up having low self-worth, we end up having so many insecurities. And if I'm to share my personal experience, there was a time where I hit rock bottom. I used to worry a lot. I used to experience anger and resentment and a lot of grief. And there was a time where I hit rock bottom of being depressed, in a depressive state, and getting into that victim mindset. And that's where then I got into all spirituality. I got into, various modalities, and there were, incremental changes, improvements that happened. But I totally forgot who I was. And it's only last couple of years that I started understanding who I am. I started reconnecting with that identity, and that's how my life started changing. So, and now in terms of the loop that I had created of a lack, and this is just an example that I'm sharing this. The lack loop is, when we end up focusing on what we don't have, then we end up focusing on the not so good things in our life. And we end up focusing on that, we end up attracting that in our life. So there's a loop that we create, so we don't have enough. So for example, we don't have enough money. We end up focusing on not having enough money, that today I have so many bills. I'm not able to get the salary that I want. I'm not able to buy the house that I want. So we end up focusing on that. We end up thinking about that a lot on a daily basis. And that's the loop then we ended up, creating. And this is the loop that we need to break. Now, before I even go ahead on this slide, I just want to take a pause now. And otherwise, it just gets into a monologue. I want all of us to do one small activity and write down, if you can, if you have pen and paper, or just think about that one thing that you want to create or you want to have, or something that you've not been able to have for so many years. So if you could think of one thing that you want to have. And if you want to talk about it, you can unmute yourself, or you want to share about it, you can, or you just want to write and be with that. Let's just think of that moment. And now when you are thinking of that, so let's say right now I'm thinking of a grand, luxurious vacation. So just an example. Now, the process that we need to go through is, I hope everybody is able to clearly, hear me, and there's no issues, no background noise, and you're able to see my screen. Because when we are in this session, I don't know if people are able to hear me or not, and if I'm audible. So keep sharing your notes. Okay, wonderful, great. So if you can all right now close your eyes, let's just do this activity to begin with, yeah? So that we understand what we're talking about. So all of us close our eyes and visualize that one thing that you want. Look at the image, absorb the image, look at the colors, see how you're feeling while you're looking at it. Also become aware of the thoughts that are coming at the back of your mind. So do you think that this is going to happen? Is it going to be possible or not? What kind of sensations are you feeling in your body? Become aware of that. Become aware of any doubt, any tension that's coming up. Is there any resistance? become aware of all these things at the same time. While you're looking at that image of what you want to manifest. Yeah. Anybody wants to share this? What visual they've created and what they were feeling, what you're feeling right now? Any doubts that are coming up? What kind of thoughts are coming up in your mind?
Hi. I'm Jayanti here.
Yeah. Hi, Jayanti.
And it has been, almost 3 to 4 years I've met my parents.
Mm-hmm.
So, due to different reasons, I was not able to go home to my parents' home. So, last 1 week, whenever I meditate, I keep, visualizing things that I'm there. Literally, I'm there with my parents. And so that gives me a lot of good vibes that you can do it. You'll definitely go. I mean, you are in a journey where you will visit your hometown, you'll meet your parents, you'll meet your friends, and it keeps coming, like those thoughts, and that's really comforting.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's so beautiful, and that's really how it is. When we visualize and we are able to create the emotions with that, I think that's perfect example of how we really manifest.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Anybody else who wants to share? Anybody who, when you were visualizing, did you get any doubt that, oh, I don't think this is going to happen. I'm visualizing it, but I don't know if it's going to happen or not, or any kind of worry that came up, or.
Hi, Poonam, Sushma here.
Hi, Sushma.
Yeah, I would like to go with the dream of my daughter that she wants to study abroad. But I did visit that she's studying abroad, but then the lack of financial sources and scholarship is what troubling me.
Okay. So, so the emotions of doubt and worry, did that come up?
Yes.
Whether it's going to happen or not.
Yes.
Okay. Were you able to, although besides having these doubts, were you able to get that picture, that image in front of you, that you were able to
imagining
see her?
Yeah, she's in the college campus abroad, wherever she wants to be, and then but these worries holding me back.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. We'll take this up gradually as we go along in this journey. We will delve deeper into this aspect and figure out how we remove these doubts and these worries, so that you can manifest that very powerfully, for your daughter. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing. All right. Now, taking these two examples, we'll go ahead and I will now share the rules of the law of attraction. How do we now, use these rules to create and manifest what we really want? Now, first rule is we need to remember that everything is a vibration. Everything vibrates at a particular frequency. And for us to attract something that is vibrating at a certain frequency, we have to vibrate at the same frequency. So it's suppose Sushma's daughter needs to go for studies and there's a certain finance that she needs, then that particular state is going to exist at a certain frequency, but the doubt and the fear and the worry is at the lower frequency, the chart that I had shown earlier. Yeah. So for us to be able to manifest that state, we need to vibrate at a higher frequency. If we are not vibrating, then that will not manifest for us. So like to like attract. That which is like unto itself is drawn is the rule. So till the time we don't vibrate at that frequency, we will not be able to attract. And when we look at our current state in terms of, the problems that we're having, when we focus on that, then we end up focusing on the frequency of that problem. And that's the frequency that we will be vibrating at. So then we will not be able to attract that in our life. Yeah. And now, how do we know at what frequency we are vibrating? And what's the check? The best check is, the emotions that we are feeling at that point of time. So if we are feeling enthusiastic and we are joyful, then that means our frequency is at a higher level, and we will be able to manifest, and we can match the frequency of that. If we are operating and we are vibrating at a lower frequency, then we will not be able to. So there is a gap. And when there's a gap in our emotions, in the frequency, then that is what leads to, feeling low, feeling down, not feeling too great. Yeah. So that's the only point we need to remember. Our vibration that we are operating at right now, that's the vibration we need to match of the outcome that we need. Yeah, that's the only work we need to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, yeah.
Just a quick question. Can you please give some examples of different frequencies or vibrations at different wavelengths?
Okay. So, and I'll go back to that emotional chart just to give more examples. So this one. So if you look at this chart, the highest frequency that we experience, the highest vibration, is the feeling of appreciation, the feeling of gratitude, of love. So these emotions exist at the highest vibration. And the lowest vibrations are fear, grief, depression, powerlessness, feeling of victim. These exist at the lowest vibration. And so these are in terms of emotions. But if you look at everything in the universe, everything is energy, and every energy has a certain vibration associated with it. So your thoughts, the objects, your relationships, your material objects that you have in your life, every single thing will have a vibration. Yeah. So, and but your frequency, what frequency you are operating at right now currently, is decided by how you're feeling, your emotions. And your emotions are from your heart energy and your solar plexus. If you talk about a chakra, then that is from these chakras that you radiate that energy out to the universe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So please ask many more questions. I would love this session to be interactive. Otherwise, I'll just rush through the slides and we'll be done and over in another 10-15 minutes. I understand we have constraints of time, and I'll also keep that in mind. But I really want us to understand this clearly before we proceed.
So,
now,
ma'am, can I ask a question?
Yes, please. Yeah.
So, ma'am, with reference to with reference to one of the examples that was said earlier, wherein ma'am wants her daughter to go abroad and study, but a certain fear is creeping into it, right? Into her, stating that how will she manage for the scholarship and the fees. Now, this, from once you understand, once you realize that this is an emotion of fear and doubt, you know where your vibration is. So is it like you have to make a conscious effort at that point of time to change that feeling and convert it into something which is on the happier side?
Yes, absolutely. You're right. And you got that, which I will be covering up in the subsequent slide.
Okay.
The moment we become aware of the emotion or the frequency that we're operating at in that moment, we have then it's not good for the train, it's not good for the surrounding. So that sudden change also cannot happen. So you can't suddenly shift from the lowest vibration to the highest. And that is what happens, when, and we know this term called toxic positivity, when internally we are not really happy, but we are forcing ourselves to be happy. So that can't happen. So the only thing we need to do is reach for a better feeling thought. What makes us feel better, instead of forcing us to feel something. Instead of that, we have to reach for a better feeling thought in that moment. Yeah, I'll cover this in the subsequent slides.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Poonam, in continuation to what you said, if you go to the your presentation of loop, slide of loop.
Yeah.
Most of us coming from a limited income group people, this lack of money, we ask for more money, focus on not having enough to ask. We are mostly in a what you call monthly cycle of having things, managing with the salaries and rest of the things. So that's when I would like to know more of how do we manifest. We want it's more of a having a content life and having a reasonable standard of life to live it. So here I would like to know how would the manifestation or the focus would work into it, having a limited sources in life.
Yes. I'll cover this point in the subsequent slide. But the key is the law of attraction says, and this is how the universe works, whatever we put our focus on, the universe takes that as an affirmation that this is what we want, even if we ask for it or we don't ask for it. So when we are focusing on, let's say, too many bills to pay and not having enough money, if we are putting focus on that, then the universe says, okay, this is what you're focusing on, we'll give you more of this. So the universe gives you more bills to pay. So, instead of that, if we focus on, okay, I have this much money and I'm going to take care of my bills and my expenses with this much, and I'm thankful, I'm happy, I love the fact that I have this much money, I can do this. So it's the moment you shift the focus to appreciation, to gratitude, to feeling good about what you have, then the universe says, okay, you're happy with this, this is what you want, let me give you more of this. So this is how law of attraction works. What you focus on, the universe will give you more of that. So you focus on lack, the universe will keep giving you lack. And this is how we end up creating this loop.
Yeah. Can I ask one question?
Yeah, Vagisha.
Yeah, actually, my aunt died due to cancer, and her daughter, she she has this phobia that every time she'll have any kind of problem, she'll relate it with cancer. So every time when she's not feeling well, she'll think that she's having the same symptoms what her mother had. So eventually, she is every day like she is thinking of this. So will it lead to cancer or something like that?
Okay, so when we operate at this energy of worry and fear, and if we focus on that energy for too long, so it's not necessary that if we focus on it for a short period of time and if we are thinking about it too much, it's not necessary that it will manifest for sure. But yes, there are chances if we focus too much on that thought. If we keep focusing on, oh, I might get this, oh, I might get this, or, this is going to happen, then, and the more energy you put into that thought, the more conviction you put into that thought, then, this is what the universe does. That's what law of attraction says, that it happens. But it all depends on how much momentum, how much energy has been given to that thought, and how much belief system has gone into that thought. Sometimes we say something, we think something, but at the back of our mind, we kind of have a counter thought against it as well. So there are two conflicting thought patterns at the same time, so they kind of pull against each other. That also happens. It really depends what's going on in that person's mind. But
Okay. So how we can suggest her to deviate from that?
Focus on the healthy part of life, that hey, I'm so healthy, I'm able to do this and I'm able to do that. I'm so thankful to my body. I'm so thankful that I'm able to I don't have these health issues. Just focus on what she can do and health wise what she has every single moment, being thankful in every single moment and saying that, wow, I can do this, I'm able to do this. I have perfect set of eyes and I'm able to see clearly, or I have perfect set of legs and I can run and I can walk. So being thankful for what we have and focusing the attention on that, then the universe will keep giving you more and more of healthy aspects to be thankful about.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you. So going to the art of creation. Yeah. So the law of attraction says that there are 3 simple steps for us to create what we want. And we can want and desire anything under the sun, and it can happen. So first step is you just ask, or you have a desire. 2, the universe answers, which is not something that we have anything to do with. And 3, we allow or we receive what we have asked for. The first 2 steps happen almost automatically. We don't have to put in much effort. Yeah. Sometimes we ask without even asking, because just by focusing on something, we're telling the universe this is what we want. So we've been asking unconsciously. We can now, going forward, ask consciously that this is what we want. But the most critical part is how do we allow and how do we receive? So law of attraction says that everything that we ask for, every single thing that we ask for without any exception, everything comes true. Everything we get, 100% with no exception. Now, the only delay that happens is us allowing that to happen, whether we receive it, whether we get in the way of it, and how we do that, I'll cover in my subsequent slides. But the first most important step is how do we powerfully ask? How do we ask? First, we need to ask when we are operating at higher frequency, higher vibration, when we are joyful, when we are happy, when we are in a state of love, in appreciation. When we ask in that state, then we are infusing that wish, that desire with positive energy. And that's the energy that will make things happen for us. If we ask in a state of desperation, in anger, in grief, in depression, then that's the energy we are putting in that desire. So that's the ideal situation. Ask when you're operating at a higher vibration. And very important to know what you want. Sometimes we're asking and we don't even know whether we really want it or not. And we don't know why we are asking for it. So what and why is really important. And till then, if you're not clear why you want it, if you're not clear what you want, then don't ask. Then just wait, get clarity. Wait to get clarity on what you want. Be very clear that I want so much money by this much time. I want these kind of relationships. I want, I want love. I want respect. Anything and everything that you want. Why you want it should also be clear. What will you get out of it? Keep asking why. Keep asking why. I want this, and I want this because this will happen for me. These are the opportunities that will open for me. This is what I will get from it. Be very clear. And then magnify your focus on what you like about that aspect. So if you want more money, then focus on all the good aspects that you experience on a daily basis. On a daily basis, keep focusing on that. Like, wow, I could appreciate this. I could buy a car. I have money, or I have money in my bank, or I have money to buy nice food, or I have money to do this. So keep focusing on that. If it's about relationship, focus on, out of 10 relationships, you will be having some 5 relationships that are really fulfilling and amazing. So focus on that. So keep focusing on what you like about that aspect in your daily life, and of course appreciation of what you have. Now, another key element of asking is asking with emotions. You have to visualize what you want, and you have to be able to put emotions in it. Just by visualizing what you want is not powerful enough. It will sometimes get you what you want, but it's not powerful enough. You have to energize that wish with emotions. So VAK is your visual audio kinesthetic approach. You have to be able to fill that wish, that desire with these emotions. You have to be able to look at that image very clearly, very sharply, in 3D, colorful effect. You have to be able to hear the sound of it. You have to be able to taste, smell, in your visualization, you have to be able to do that. Yeah. And of course, you have to believe that it's possible. If you believe that it's not possible, then it's not going to happen. If you have any doubt, if you have any worry, then it's not going to happen very easily. It will take time though. It will happen gradually, but it takes time. And then of course, operating from the creator's identity and not from a victim identity. Yeah. I'm not covering, the step 2, which the universe takes care of. The universe manifests everything by default that we ask. The delay.
Yeah. Poonam, can I ask you something?
Yes, Malika, of course.
Yeah. So I have heard that you should ask in such a manner that you have already received it.
Oh,
so
yes.
do we ask in that manner, or do we ask, I want? Or do we say, thank you in advance for blessing me with this? I mean, what should be the approach?
Okay. So this approach of believing that you already have it, and you start with that, comes from the fact that the moment you visualize yourself having something that you don't have right now, that means that you are connected to that vibration right now, right here. So the vibration that you are experiencing, that's the vibration that you will start operating at. That's the reason why you will be asked to start imagining and visualizing that you already have it. Yeah. But the mind, at the back of your mind, you'll start getting this, but I know it's not there. It's not here right now. I know I don't see it, So why am I trying to make believe that it's happened for me? So the mind will keep asking you that question. So the best way is not to say, not to say that, oh, I already have it and I see it happening. If you're not able to believe in it, if you're able to believe in it, great, go ahead and do it. But if you're not completely convinced with that approach, then the best way is that you visualize that, say, in next 3 months, in next 1 month or year, whatever time frame you have in mind. You imagine that happening, saying, oh, wow, once I have it, 3 months later, this is how I will feel when I have it. Like, oh my God, if I have that offer letter in my hand, this is how it will look like. It will have my name here. This will be the logo. This will be the salary. This will be the signature. You actually just imagine that physical letter in front of you with your eyes closed, and you physically feel it in your hand. You concentrate on the feelings that you're feeling at that moment. You're feeling exuberant. You're feeling joy. And the moment you start visualizing those feelings, you will realize that your body is already responding to it. Now, why does that happen? It's because the brain does not have a past, future time frame. The brain is interpreting, signals right here and right now. Like when you watch TV, when you're watching something on screen, that what you experience there, you end up experiencing emotions right here and right now. The mind knows that what we're watching is not real, it's just a movie, but we end up crying. Why does that happen? Because the brain is not able to say that this is not real. What I'm seeing is not real. The brain does not associate, brain does not differentiate. Yeah. So what you are seeing, what you're feeling, the brain thinks that to be true. So it will start believing that. And that's when it will start sending signals in your body that it's truly happening and it's real. And the body starts vibrating at that frequency. And the moment the body starts vibrating at that frequency, that's when you start attracting that in your life. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that's why it's really powerful to visualize, to generate those emotions, to really believe that it's happening.
Ma'am, I have a similar question.
Yeah,
so if we start believing that, it's already happening, our frequency has increased. So automatically we will also feel that, oh, wow, I have received it. And the first feeling is that, thank God, a feeling of gratitude.
Yeah.
So while saying it, if we couple it with gratitude, like how, the earlier example was given that, thank you, God, for making it happen for me. So even that should be good, right? Because as they say that when it comes to manifestation, whatever words you use, it should be like in present perfect tense, like you already have it. So will that help us to feel better and more positive and to raise our vibration?
Thank you so much for sharing that, Priyanka. That's so beautiful. And I think you already know a lot about manifestation. And that's exactly how it is. The moment you experience those feelings, that vibration, and the fact that it's really happening, the purest, highest vibration emotion that we have is the feeling of gratitude. And it's even higher than love. It's higher than joy, exuberance, excitement. The purest, highest vibration is the feeling of gratitude. And if you can experience that feeling of gratitude, then nothing like it. It's perfect. And what you mentioned about saying things in perfect present tense is another way of believing that there is no past, future. Everything is here right now.
Right.
Yeah?
Right.
So, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Priyanka.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, all right. Now, what slows down this manifestation? What we have desired and what we want, what slows down? All the doubts, self-doubt that we create, is it going to happen or not? Am I, I'm always procrastinating things. I'm not doing things. I don't do this. We have self-limiting beliefs, so all these factors, they will slow down what is going to happen. When you start believing that, it has not happened in the past, it's not going to happen in the future, or it has not manifested so far. I've been asking for years and I still don't have it right now. I don't think it's going to happen. You lose hope, and because of that, then you lose lack of momentum. Lack of momentum is when the energy that you keep feeding to a thought that, I want this, I need this, and you keep sending positive energies, but gradually over a period of time, because when it doesn't manifest, then you lose that enthusiasm, and then you start feeding energy to it. Then it will not, it will happen. It just takes time. Everything manifests eventually. It just takes time.
Yeah? Poonam here, yes, losing hope. Hope sometimes agar if I say it in Hindi, chalo Bhagwan ki jo marzi jab hona hoga tab hoga. So how will you relate to it?
Okay. In that situation, we are letting go of our conditions. We set conditions in terms of how we want it. So let's say, suppose somebody wants a soulmate, and we are looking for a certain kind of soulmate, and we've not found one so far. And then eventually we give up and we say, okay, maybe it's not meant for me, or maybe God has some other plans, and let it be, So when we reach that state, it just means that the conditions in which I wanted, the way I wanted, those factors I'm letting go. We drop that. Now, the moment you'll notice, the moment we drop that, manifestation happens. Like, I know of a couple who, they were wanting to have a baby for a long time, and then they ended up adopting one, after years of painful process of, trying to have a baby. They gave up and then ended up adopting a baby. And then after that, they conceived right after adoption. And I've heard of these cases happening so many times. And that happens when we let go of our resistance, of all the worries, all the doubts that we have. The moment we drop them, the moment we let them go, manifestation happens.
So is it a negative emotion or a positive emotion to let go of? Bhagwan ki jo marzi.
If surrender happens with the feeling of positivity, that okay, it's not happened so far, maybe there's something better happening, maybe there's something else, I need to let go of this, and you move on to something positive, then great. But most of the time it's the negativity that we let go of, because we're so hung up on it not happening. We are so focused on that it has not happened so far, that every single day we are sad that it has not happened so far, because that's the energy we are focused on. We are focused on it not there. We are focused on the lack. And when we let go, we are letting go of that focus on lack. The desire was still there. It's still the request. It's like the request is already out in the universe. It will manifest. The only thing in that moment we are letting go of is the lack loop. We drop that. And then it manifests. You will realize, you will notice most of the time, the moment you say, ab nahi chahiye, then it happens, right? And that's how it happens, because we are letting go of the focus of that not being there.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other question here? Anybody wants me to go deeper into one of these? Because all of these really get into the way. The biggest factor that I see getting in our way of not manifesting faster, sooner, is believing that, I'm not good enough, or, I don't have this capability, or I'm lazy, or I can't do this. When we keep doubting ourselves and we have limiting beliefs about ourselves, this is the most common factor that I see, in people. So, and that is what we need to remove. All the layers that we have acquired over years of who we are, that is not serving us. That's what we need to let go.
Yeah, so I want to know, Poonam, that how many times in a day we make these affirmations, like that, is it morning, evening, afternoon, or the whole day we have to think about that? And also that when we make these affirmations to the universe, do we really need to go out, look up at the universe, or we can, sitting in the room, we can visualize the universe? How do we do that?
Okay, so the affirmations are really powerful, and of course they really help if you can do those affirmations as many times as possible. So I remember when I had read that book, All Is Well by Louis Hay, and I started with that affirmation of I'm good enough, I love myself, I'm proud of myself. I started doing that because at that time I was operating at such low frequency of I'm not good enough, nobody loves me. I was going through that phase. So because I needed it so much, I would do those affirmations almost throughout the day. At the back of my mind, it was always running. No, I'm good enough. I'm good enough. I love myself. I love myself. I'm good enough. So it depends on the intensity that you're trying to attack, So if it's an affirmation of, let's say, health, it depends how strong is the resistance. If the resistance is really powerful and very strong, then you will need to have equal powerful affirmation and equal as many times you become aware about it during the day. The moment you realize that some negative thought has come in, you have to counter it with a positive thought every single time. Yeah, but minimum, yes, morning, evening. I think that's the minimum that you can do. But it really depends on the intensity of that resistance.
And out in the open and looking at the universe.
That's also, it works, but not necessary. You can do that sitting in your room with your eyes closed. It does not have to be out in the open looking at the universe.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Poonam. I wanted to ask you a question.
Hi,
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah. So sometimes there is not just one thing that you're seeking. There are 2-3 things in parallel that you're seeking, and you can't decide which is more important. Maybe you want all 3 of them together. So what do you do? How do you prioritize? How do you decide which one should manifest first and which one should come in later? Maybe I want all of them to manifest together.
Yeah.
So how do you concentrate, and how do you focus on all the 3 things together?
Okay. Now, very nice question. And most of us, all the time, we always have multiple wishes and desires. So suppose we have 10 wishes that we want to manifest. What we end up doing normally, is out of 10 things, maybe 7 of them are something that we know will happen eventually. We are comfortable, may not happen, but we are comfortable. It's only 1 or 2 that we are focused most on, where we think that it might not happen, or where we put too much of our heart and soul into it, that I really want these 2 things to happen. And that's where we end up putting our energy onto. Now, all those 10 desires you can have at the same time. It need not be that you need to prioritize on 1 or 2 or 3. You can have all 10 desires. And out of those 10, the best way to manifest all 10 is to pick up one wish which you know that you have least resistance about. Don't focus your energy on that one wish that you have maximum resistance about. And by resistance, I mean you have doubts, you have worry, you don't know if it's going to happen or not. There is just too much at stake, and you're not, you're really hung up around that. So don't focus your energy on that. Don't try to do anything about it. You put that aside. You focus on your wish and desire that you're most comfortable about. You know that here you put some amount of effort, some attention, it's just going to happen. For sure, you have a lot of positive energy and excitement about it. You keep your entire focus on that for next couple of days, months, whatever duration, and you keep yourself in a high state of vibration, focusing on that. And while at the same time, you have all those 10 wishes and desires, you write them down somewhere, you make a note, and you let it be. You don't need to think about them on a daily basis or focus on them on a daily basis. You don't need to do that. But keep your attention and focus on how you're feeling. Once you've created the desire, you've sent out the request to the universe, then you just let it be. Then you just focus on feeling good, focus on manifesting it, keep the excitement level high. And that happens when you focus on the desire that you know is going to be manifested. Yeah? Does that help?
Okay. Yeah, that helps. Of course, there are, with this question answered, there are multiple questions, but I'll just let it be right now. Focus on this.
Okay. All right. Now, how can we really get out of our own way? There are so many tools, so many techniques that we can adopt. Some of us are blessed, to not have any self-sabotage tendencies, and some of us have, where over a period of time, many years, we built up a lot of resistance in our mind. So you can go through various techniques to get rid of them. Meditation is the best route to reduce resistance and to connect with your inner being and to operate at a higher vibration. That's why meditation, we keep emphasizing on that. And then there are various other techniques. There's therapy, coaching, healing, yoga. Must have all heard about mirror work, creating a vision board, journaling. Now, all this, I mean, it will take some more time to go deeper into each one of them. But the most important one is when we are not feeling joyful, when we are not operating at high frequency, that is what causes the resistance. The most important point. Everything else, then we need to just ignore. But if there was some serious childhood traumas, or in recent times, because of those traumas, you're not able to move beyond it, then I would recommend that you go for therapy, you go for some kind of healing methodology, because and this is how toxic positivity comes in. When in your mind you're thinking of all the positive thoughts, and you're forcing your mind to only focus on positive thoughts, but then there is trauma in your body. Each cell in your body also has a separate vibration, and it has memory of the events that have happened. So if there's trauma in the body, and if there's memory that you're carrying of pain, of low vibration, then your mind is focused on high vibration thoughts, but your body is at a lower vibration. So, and that's when you will not, your alignment with your inner being will not be there, and that's the trouble you will face. So if there's anything like that, then I would recommend that you go through some kind of healing, some kind of therapy to overcome that. It doesn't take too long. It takes 1 or 2 sessions max, or 3 maybe, and then you can start working on that. Otherwise, the usual mirror work, meditation, yoga. Yoga is the best way to align all your energies. So really works. Yeah. And last but not the least, the only thing, and re-emphasis on the only work we need to do. The only work we need to do is every single moment of the day, just be aware of how you're feeling. And in that moment, reach out for that better feeling thought. Don't put too much of effort to feel the best. Feel gratitude when you're not feeling it. Don't force yourself. Whatever comes easy, do that. Yeah? Any questions?
Hi, Poonam. This is
Hi,
Monica here.
Hi, Monica.
Let me put on the video. It's not nice to sit down. Yeah. Hi, thank you for this. It was lovely.
Yeah.
I have a question, and I'm just wondering, how do you kind of bring this concept along? How do you align it with the concept of Swadharma and your your Swadhyaya? Yeah, basically, is there an alignment? And if there is, then how do you kind of align that?
So Dharma usually talks about, what are the duties that you have, in this universe when you've taken birth. And law of attraction, alignment with Dharma, and I think this is a topic I have not delved deeper in, but my understanding here would be that your Dharma will give you the direction that you need to work with, and will give you a path that you need to work towards. Now, in order to work and walk on that path of Dharma, in order to move ahead on that journey, then you can use law of attraction to really manifest what you want on that path. So I think they can both work in tandem, work together, and kind of take you on that path of Dharma. Beyond that, if there are deeper associations, that I need to get into that. Thank you so much. It's a very interesting question, but
thank you. No, I think that was you answered it really well. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. Any other questions? Any other learnings? Any observations?
Ma'am, can you give us a tip? You told us about the feeling of lack, like worry is there, doubt is there, fear is there, what will happen, uncertainty is there. So in spite of being mindful about it, we have, say, for example, in a particular situation, we are mindful and we understood that, okay, my mind is being doubtful in this moment and it is not good for my manifestation. So I am now mindful about that particular feeling. But how do I, if you can give us some tips on, when these negative feelings or thoughts seep into our mind, how can we sort of remove it? I wouldn't say remove it, but rather change it to a positive feeling. So any tips on that?
Okay, all right. So, so the moment you become aware that a negative thought has come, the first reaction should not be that, oh my God, a negative thought has come. So don't fight it, don't judge it, because the moment you observe that you have a negative thought and the moment you give too much attention to it and you give energy to it, then you are generating another negative thought.
Right.
Yeah. So just staying a little detached, like observing your thoughts from a distance and observing without attachment. And the moment you become aware that, okay, this is a thought that has just come. Okay, fine, thank you. It has come for a reason. It has come probably because I was right now not operating at high frequency. Yeah. So where do thoughts come from? Thoughts usually, we are like radio antennas. Yeah. We can tune into a certain channel based on the frequency that we are at that moment. Yeah. So if we are at a lower frequency, then the thoughts that will come will be of the lower frequency.
Right.
So the moment you become aware that a negative thought has come, you immediately become aware that, oh, it's come probably because I'm not operating at high frequency. So it's an awareness. It's a realization that should come that, okay, what's happened? And then immediately connecting to your body and immediately becoming aware, okay, where is this coming from? Where am I feeling this? And then connecting with that feeling. Okay, fine. Now, where is this feeling coming from? Okay, I'm feeling anxious right now. Where is this anxiety coming from? So, and then keep going deeper and deeper. And then the moment you come down to the grassroots reason why it's there, then say, okay, this is fine, I'm okay. And then you work with it. And then, then you keep going to the next level, that this is fine, I'm good with this. I now choose to think this. Now I choose to think better about this. So, but you have to keep delayering, keep figuring out without judgment, without, so it's negative feeling is like a spiral downwards. It keeps taking you down. The moment you think of one negative thought, it will attract another negative thought. It will attract another one and keep taking you down. So you have to break that cycle, become detached, and okay, so where's this coming from? This is what I need to do, and get into course correction. That's it.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Poonam, thank you so much for a wonderful session.
Oh, Rupa, hi.
Hi. I just had a thought as you spoke that, there are times when it may help, let me know if you agree, it may help to do, almost an analysis of things that have really worked in your life in the past and things that haven't. And then I realized that there were things that I really wanted and something drove me to do it. Everything manifested, it happened, right?
Yeah.
And so when the next time I'm looking for another goal, or I want something else to be manifested, I'm now thinking about what worked then, and some of the boxes and some of the points that you just highlighted in your presentation, that was exactly it. There was visualization, there was this destiny, there was this connection that I'm meant to do this, and it's all going to line up. All of those worked. So I think some sort of looking back at your own experiences possibly may be a guide.
Oh, yes, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Rupa, and so beautifully said. And in fact, I had made a mental note of sharing that in the beginning, but I think I kind of rushed through my slides. But thank you so much for bringing that up. But it's so powerful just by remembering that, okay, out of 10 things, there are 5 things that we have manifested so far, and we have done it so powerfully, so well. It's just that we don't put our focus and attention on it. We miss out on that. We keep focusing on what we don't have. We don't even remember things that we have powerfully manifested. And remembering that definitely, and thank you so much. What a wonderful point, Rupa. Yeah, and really important. Any other observation, anything somebody wants to add or ask questions? Okay, I think we are good. This is 5:05, just in time. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for coming, joining my first ever session. Hopefully I'll do many more, but such an awesome support. All of you came and shared your experiences also. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.